This holiday season, eliminate awkward adjustments for men and women. TommyJohn.com, code HERD, 20% off your first order. TommyJohn.com, I wear it. Being well-rounded, I think, in the NFL can be kind of overrated. I think we all know coaching matters in the NFL. The other thing I think about is identity matters. I think that's kind of the Baltimore story this year. Baltimore has an identity. What are you? And I'll give you a great example. Sunday night, Minnesota had a very strong identity. Dalvin Cook, screens running, took the game over. Seattle last night had a very strong identity. Russell, this is why we pay you 35 large. Take the game over. It was Russell made all the decisions. Meanwhile, Dallas on Sunday night, play calling. What? So I thought about this. So as we go into the playoffs, I thought about the 10 best teams. Let's start in the AFC. I'm going to do all the divisional leaders, that's 8 teams, and then 2 other teams that don't lead the division, Minnesota and Seattle, that are very good. The NFC's better. So what is the Patriots' identity? Head coach, quarterback. Pretty clear. Ravens' identity, head coach, quarterback. Texans' identity, quarterback. Chiefs' identity, head coach, quarterback. So who has the weakest identity? The Texans. That's my least favorite division leader. I do think they're trying to develop the running game, and it's getting there. They got to make sure they get that running game figured out. That's going to be the key to Houston. You better have a legit running game so you don't depend on Deshaun. But the weakest identity in the AFC is the one I think's the first out in the playoffs. Let's go now to the 6 teams in the NFC, the divisional leaders, and Seattle and Minnesota. What is the 49ers' identity? Head coach, D-line. Packers, I would say it's Aaron Rodgers and the newfound legitimate running game. That's a real running game now. Saints, head coach, quarterback. Cowboys, they don't know what their identity is. You saw their play calling late. They don't know what the hell their identity is. They took the ball out of Dak's hands. He was having his best game as a pro. Seattle, we saw their identity last night. Pete Carroll runs the defense, Russell Wilson. We saw Minnesota. Defense, Dalvin Cook, and I would say Mike Zimmer's defensive game plans. The 2 teams right now of the 10 best teams, Houston has a chance to find an identity. Deshaun and a top 5 running game. I think they can get there. Dallas doesn't know what they are. They don't know what they are. Now, in my opinion, what is Dallas? Dak and that O-line. Give Dak time to throw. I've argued this. Amari's as valuable as Zeke, in my opinion. Now, I'm in the minority there. Most of you, when the season started, said the identity is Zeke. I've never bought into that. Okay, Dak was losing games when he had Zeke. Dak doesn't lose a ton when he's got the O-line healthy, Tyron Smith, left tackle, and Amari Cooper. So that's, to me, Dallas has the weakest identity of the 10 best teams in the league. Now, because they've got exceptional talent, the best linebacking duo, Zeke, Dak, Amari, to me, outside of Pittsburgh, second best offensive line in football, they can overcome some of those. But I think, let's be honest. The Rams last year got to a Super Bowl. You didn't have to love the Rams, but they had an identity. The minute Gurley got hurt, it was a little muddy. Cooper Kupp got hurt, a little muddy. And by the Super Bowl, New England, Rams didn't know what they were offensively. They didn't really have an identity. So that's what I ask about Dallas this morning. What are they? So you got to put your arms around Dak. Dak is starting. The O-line's healthy. That's your team. I've said this. I like Zeke. But if you told me today I had Duke, who's a good back, who's not a special back, Sony Michel. I think Dak could win a bunch of games with a healthy O-line, Dak and Sony Michel. Nick Chubb, I think Dak could win a bunch of games. I don't think Dallas is winning these games without Dak and Tyron Smith and Travis Frederick. I think Dallas could I think Dallas could get to the NFC Championship without Zeke, as long as you gave me a B running back. Nick Chubb's terrific. Sony Michel, a couple young guys, and the guy for Seattle last night that you see. But I don't think Dallas knows what they are. I don't think they do. I don't think Dallas Cowboy fans know. I think their play calling late in that game told me everything I need to know. And if you go into a playoff and you don't have an identity, Because none of you think they got the coaching. We know coaching matters. None of you like Jason Garrett. So now I don't have a coach. I don't have a Harbaugh. I don't have John Harbaugh. I don't have Andy Reid. Don't have Pete Carroll. Don't have Belichick. I don't have Sean Payton. You would acknowledge that. So you better have an unbelievable identity. That's where Baltimore comes in. I get the coach, then I get the identity. And I got some misgiving. Lamar gets popped here in the next 7 weeks. It's not the same team. But I think it's a real thing, and I think we saw last night a team with a strong offensive identity. Russell wins. Minnesota Sunday, strong offensive identity. Dalvin Cook wins. Even San Francisco last night without George Kittle. Emmanuel Sanders. Offensively, San Francisco didn't quite know what they were. You got Garoppolo's throwing to guys he'd rather not throw to. It matters. mdriveformen.com. The code is HERD, 20% off. I take a couple supplements every day. Leaner, stronger, boost testosterone levels. We got a great final hour 3 on a Tuesday coming up next.